Welcome back. It's 2023 and it's DB2 Bets brought to you by Betstamp, where we use that Betstamp app to find the best odds out there across all different sportsbooks, and by the Dean Blundell Network. Visit deanblundell.com for all things DB2 sports news and other podcasts as well. It's your co-host, Josh Elijah. To my right of the screen, we got Birdie as well. Birdman, how you doing? Welcome to 2023. How
Hey,
you doing,
we're here.
We're here, and we're also here with Betstamp's own Zack Phillips. Zack, doing
pretty good, guys. I'm happy to be back. Glad I got the
yeah.
invite. I think I did well last time I was on.
Aces.
Yeah.
I think that actually was carrying on a streak of perfect shows in a row. So you definitely contributed to that.
It was.
I think you went like 3-0 or 4-0 for it. So kudos to you, man. And yeah, obviously we got to have you back on the show because you put out straight fire. But speaking of records, just real quick here, we're gonna make this show short and sweet because we're recording this as Team Canada goes for the gold medal right now. I got my in-laws in the room next to me right now, so I got to fucking fire in all cylinders and make sure they're happy. So going to be doing that. So we're just going to try and fire this off within a couple minutes so we can go watch the game. And if you don't like it, sorry, but it's our show. But speaking of records, let's just cap off and drum roll, please, for our record for 2022. Since we joined Betstamp, our record to close out the year was 183 wins and 158 losses with 2 pushes. That is the record. Not doing too bad. Looking to be able to build on that. Yeah, you know, as long as we got our heads above water, as long as we're not fucking losing money around here, that's good. The other stat that jumps out is a 0.7 CLV. So not too bad. I'll take it as long as it's not in the red. So we'll be able to dive into more analytics and what have you. A fresh new start to the year, and we had to bring back somebody who went perfect on his last time. So
much pressure.
It's so much pressure. It just keeps amounting. But we're gonna fire things right off here. I got a couple picks jumping into this as well for our first picks of 2023. It's the final week 18 of the NFL regular season. Playoff pictures are shaping up to there's a couple loose ends that need to be tied up. But when it comes to our first game that I want to be able to cover, we'll just do this real quick. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings at -7. I caught that at -106 odds, available on Bet99. As soon as I saw Justin Fields, I have Justin Fields in my fantasy. As soon as I saw him go out and not be able to finish the final game of the season, I went and I hammered the Vikings. And I believe the line has jumped a bit. A lot of the lines that have jumped a bit for the games that we're talking. So make sure when you're listening to this, go check out the Betstamp app and use promo code DB2 as well to be able to find where the best odds are across those different sports books, because the lines have been moving and you might be able to find some good value there. But yeah, seeing how Justin Fields is going to be out for that game, not really. They're just kind of throwing in the towel for the season, as they should, because they fucking suck. But the Vikings want to end on a high note as well. I think that they're pretty much solidified in at that spot. I don't think there's a lot of moving around. But then again, it's only a touchdown, and I feel that they'll be able to get that job done. So -7, I'll take that spread all day. And again, that's -106 odds, available at Bet99. You guys cool with that?
Like it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Are you worried at all about all the discussion about Vikings being frauds and like their poor performance last week?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's the Bears. If it's literally
It's the Bears.
any other, if it's any other team. I mean, the Bears have been. I've been following the Bears because of Justin Fields in my fantasy all year.
Yeah.
And you know, they'll come out hot out the gates. Like Justin Fields will rush for 90 yards in the first quarter and then do nothing for the remainder of the game. So, I mean, if the Lions can blow them out by 30 or what have you, then I think the Vikings can cover the spread on that. So, I mean, that's just me. That's my pick. How about you? What do you think?
I think you're going to be fine against the Bears. I think you're going to be fine.
I hope, I pray.
It's just like you're looking at a situation too where the Bears, they're going into this one, they're like the inverse. Like you got all these teams that are basically praying to win a game and have another team lose one. The Bears are going into this one they got to lose and they got to pray the Texans win a game and then maybe they can jump themselves into that first overall pick. They're going the inverse.
Exactly. And they're just so injured. So really there's just really not many options for there. So, you know, catching them at -7, whatever the spread may have jumped to, I would highly suggest that you think about it. and use the betstamp app while you do. Moving right along, obviously, this is something I just wanted to quickly cover, and obviously the whole football world being shocked and rattled with the Monday night game that was suspended and ultimately canceled due to the injury to Damar Hamlin. Thoughts and prayers obviously out to him and his family and the whole Bills organization. Things are trending in the right direction and he's on the mend. So it's really good news to see things shaping up on that end. And obviously we're staying tuned for more information, but it was just honestly super, super shocking to even just be watching that game and see it happen in real time. And, I think both coaches handled that very professionally and the way that it should have been as well. With all that being said, I actually got tickets. I'm going to see this fucking game on Sunday. We've had them for a few weeks now. I'm not even a Bills fan, but going down with some boys that are. And you know what? It's going to be an emotional fucking roller coaster. That's going to be a wild game. And I can't, this is just me being there and wanting to root for the Bills right now because it's, just everything that they're going through as an organization, as a team, and as a complete brotherhood and a unit. I got to cheer for the Bills. I think it's going to be a crazy day of football. And I also hate the Pats. So, I'm going to have to go with the Bills on the spread here. And I caught them at -6.5 at -115 on Betway. Just for number 3, man, doing it for number 3. And Josh Allen's obviously just a super exciting, talented, dynamic quarterback that I'm going to love watching live. So it's Stephon Diggs, all the rest. I'm probably going to throw up some player props as well. But for the sake of the show, we're going to take the Bills on the spread as they look to finish the season strong against the New England Patriots. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, I like it. The only concern would be the Bills don't have as much to play for. The Patriots do. The Bills would like to win this one. I think the Bills win this one, but my only concern might just be the Bills might get up and then get into a little bit of a conservative position with the Patriots pushing back in the game. But you know what? I still do like the Bills to win this one. And you're talking about all the other things, like it's something it's so hard to handicap is the emotional factor. There's going to be a lot of emotion. There's going to be so much emotion going into this one. I think they rally around it. The whole city, the team. Yeah, I think you're on the right side.
Yeah, the entire stadium, man. I mean, I think it's going to be that's definitely where I'm placing this bet at, and that's why I feel like I got to take the Bills if the events of Monday didn't actually happen, and the line was the same. I would consider taking the Patriots. Their defense has been pretty damn good all year long. So I mean, I feel like it could. Like, you're absolutely right, and it could be a lot closer of a game. But I'm definitely going to ride that emotional factor.
Yeah, I like it. Keep it within a touchdown too. I think you're on good side there.
Yeah, there's some lines that have it at 7. I think I even saw 7.5, but to catch it at -6.5, that's where it's at. So again,
that's why you line shop.
Yeah, that's why you line shop. That's it. That's the whole name of the fucking game. So yeah, -115, and that's on Betway as well. Keep your ears peeled for that book as well, because I think we got a couple other picks from Betway as well. But yeah, looking forward to going down my first Bills game. I have second Bills game in a while. I don't really count the first one because it was my first ever football game, and the final score was 6-3 against the Browns, and the Bills put up 3. So it was. I didn't even get a chance to see a live touchdown, and I'm just like, I went for my first NFL game and no touchdowns. It was when T.O. was on the squad, and it was tough to say the least. So yeah, really, really pumped for this experience. But yeah, no, I mean, not even a Bills fan, but I'm definitely going to be rooting for the home team. Moving along, Zach, you got some picks here, and we got some puck action, we got some more NFL action. But let's start off with your Panthers pick here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the Florida Panthers -1.5. Grab this one +205 at Betano. Newer book to Ontario, newer book to Canada. So can get some pretty good hockey stuff on there. I'll just throw a little.
Seen their names pop up.
Yeah. If you're looking to play first period overs, I would advise you to look over at Betano. Been taking advantage of that. So if
very good.
Take a look. But I'm going Panthers -1.5 in Detroit Friday night. I mean, Florida, they're just not in a position to tank. They don't have a first round pick. They traded it away to Montreal. They didn't protect it. So the spot that they're in right now, they basically are sitting here saying there's no upside to being bad. They have to find a way to turn this around. I don't really trust either of their goaltenders right now. They struggling with Bobrovsky. You put Spencer Knight in, all of a sudden he goes on a run, but then he kind of falls off again, and
Now
it's
you're
like
back
it's been a
to now you're back
yo-yo.
to Bob. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just been a little bit of a tough spot. The last time they played against each other, they've only played once this season, so it's hard to rely on historicals. But Florida went in, dummied Detroit 5-1. They've already confirmed they're going to start Huso. He's been their guy, but in each of his last 5 games, he's given up more than 4 goals. If you're going to get into a shootout with the Panthers here, I think you could get into a spot where the Panthers are quite capable of keeping up with that and continuing to score. The other thing is the Panthers have won 17 games this season, 16 have been in regulation. And in
Ah,
regulation wins, when teams are leading, the goaltenders have been pulled far more often this season and last season than they have previously. So you're looking at pretty good spots to get to cash on those puck lines. So at plus 205, I just think that's the wrong price for Florida to win this one. Like you're looking at them to just win the game outright and then hopefully grab an empty netter at the end.
yeah, absolutely. And just plus 205 is the wrong, what you're saying was the wrong price to be able to list it at, or the wrong odds. They've already shifted. We didn't even catch them at plus 205. We actually
Okay.
caught them over at plus 180 and that's Patano as well.
Okay.
So
Still good. I still like that.
still like that. Yeah, no, that's what we actually have it locked in here for plus 205, but now looking at it plus 180. So yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Bobrovsky, it's been back and forth between both, and you know what? I'm looking at the over here too. That might be nice for over 6.5 as well. And
Yeah.
looks like you can find a lot of those. Sports Interaction has minus 110, and Power Play Points Bet minus 110. So yeah, that's something to definitely look out for as well. I like that pick a lot. Moving along, you got some NFL picks as well. Two for one, two in a game here. Talk to us about the Patrick Mahomes pick that you got first.
Yeah, so these ones will kind of go hand in hand, you'll see, but we'll start with the Mahomes. As you head into week 18, remember all the Antonio Brown drama last year where he didn't get the ball and they're talking about the incentives. He didn't get his incentives, didn't cash on those. That's why he's throwing the fit and left the field. Well, player incentives at the end of the season are something that the coaches and the quarterbacks are well aware of for each of their
Mm-hmm.
receivers. So one thing that goes into this one first is the ability to win an award here. Patrick Mahomes is 430 passing yards away from setting the single season passing yards record. He would pass Peyton Manning. Now, I don't really think that he's going to do that.
That's a
Uh,
monster game.
it's a monster game. He has thrown for 440 this season. He's gone over 400 twice, only twice, but
Damn.
you're playing against the fourth worst pass defense in the NFL in the Las Vegas Raiders. Um, I think that they're going to let him air it out. Like, I
Yeah.
think they're just going to let him throw the ball. So I'm grabbing Patrick Mahomes over 320 and a half
Love
passing
it.
yards, minus 110 at PointsBet. I
Mm-hmm.
just think they're going to let him throw. They're just going to be like, dude,
Air it out.
let's air it out. Let's see what happens. This pass defense isn't great. And let's try to run this one up early. If they get in a spot where they do get a decent lead, then they might just continue to let him air it out because then
Yeah.
you're not going to put a running backs in harm's way, send guys down the field, chuck it down there. You could get some type of monster game out of Patrick Mahomes. So
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you look at player incentives, like you're talking like that as well when it comes to bonuses. I mean, like you look at Juju Smith-Schuster, who's had like an off and on season as well. That could be someone who's kind of on the brink of maybe hitting some incentives as well.
yeah,
And yeah, just letting them air it out. You're absolutely right. Don't want to put any of your running backs in jeopardy. So yeah, that totally makes sense. I like it. You got to think that he's at least going to try and break 430 yards, but that would be insane if he could. So I definitely like that. And again, that's Patrick Mahomes over 320 and a half passing yards, minus 110 on PointsBet. Love that book.
Yep.
yeah.
So I guess that would actually play into why you have the over on receiving yards here when it comes to Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah. So I was looking for targets, guys that he's been looking at. First of all, this number was and still is off market. So I was getting a good number when I grabbed this one. I think you can still find it at 32 and a half if the 30 and a half is gone. So still like that. but Jerick McKinnon has gone for over 30 receiving yards in each of his last 5 games. He's done it, I believe, 9 of the 17 or 8 of the 16 games so far this season. He's far more involved in the Chiefs passing game right now. And as I kind of mentioned with the Patrick Mahomes stuff, I'm not going to like repeat a lot of it, but the Raiders, not the greatest pass defense. They're going to let this guy air it out.
Yeah,
they have some faith in this guy as a reception, as a target there to throw the ball to. I think he could be a guy who gets a couple looks that way. And I mean, at 30.5 receiving yards, I think it's a little low for him. He's gone for 100, 115 in some of the games he's played in. Like, this could be a good spot here against a team that can't defend the pass very well.
Absolutely. And I mean, like, even looking at what it's been bumped up to now, I don't see any other, we were able to get it in at 30.5, but I don't see any other books that have it at 30.5. I see 32.5 now. That
still
seems
like
to be
that.
the new low. Still hammer that till the cows come home, I think. And then the highest is 38.5. Still gotta like that. So it's almost it's looking good for Jerick McKinnon and Patrick Mahomes as well for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're playing in Vegas, but I don't think that's going to hold a lot of weight because this is kind of a wash season for them, even though they were still kind of in it towards the end. Like they had like a fighting chance, but I don't know. It's just been a mess over there anyways. So let's do it. Jerick McKinnon over 30.5 receiving yards at -114. Did you say?
Yeah.
114 on Betway, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, let's ring it in. Ding, ding, ding. Pick and roll brought to you by Betstamp, where we use the Betstamp app and we find the best odds out there, and by the Dean Blundell Network. Let's hammer away at these 5 picks that we got for the first weekend here in January of 2023. Oh, yeah. Starting off with the Minnesota Vikings, -7 on the spread. That's -106 available on Bet99. And then we're going to be rolling with the Buffalo Bills at -6.5 on the spread, going with the home dogs, -115 on Betway as they face the New England Patriots. And then Zachy Boy's got some Panthers action for us on the puck line, -1.5 goals at +205 available on Betano. Also, maybe potentially look at the over there, see if you like it. Then we also got Patrick Mahomes over 320.5 passing yards at -110 on PointsBet, and Jerick McKinnon over 30.5 receiving yards, -114 available on Betway as Kansas City faces the Las Vegas Raiders to end off the season. I also like it too because like it's just going to continue to build on any sort of chemistry, just kind of like the Vikings pick, just kind of like the Bills pick, build on that chemistry as you're going into the playoffs. So let's take them on the spreads and on the overs for that as well. We got to run. We got some Canadian juniors to watch here as they take on the Czech Republic. I'm gonna bounce. I don't know about you guys, but we got a bunch of amazing stuff coming up in the new year. So thank you so much, Zach, for checking in with us and dropping some picks. Birdman, we got some exciting stuff to release in the coming weeks. So stay tuned. Thank you so much, and talk to you guys later. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.